Okay, so I'm gonna react to a Romanian TV video. I recently noticed a new one pop up and I have gotten behind on his videos, so the one that I want to react to is this, about car heaters in Germany. So let me go there. Oh, and oopsie whoopsie, we don't have the sound up. So I'm going to go ahead and turn up the sound. Okay. Okay, so I think that's good. Okay, so we're going to watch this one. So this is his VTuber avatar right here. And then this is an article. And I've been hearing similar stuff like this. They've been, I think it's either Louis Rossman or Steve Leto has been talking about the way that they will remotely turn off features and sometimes even the ability to turn on your car, usually because of people not paying the car payments, but sometimes for other reasons, like this article is saying it's an environmental reason. So let's listen to Romanian TV talk about this stuff in Germany.
Germany, the land that constantly thinks on how to make people's lives more miserable. My God. See, this is what I love. People think that they hate environmentalists, but I don't think you hate them enough. So, not only do they have like a terrorist attack that got 40,000 Germans to freeze in the cold, not only do they manage to make legal pressure so that Germany shuts down their nuclear reactors, but now they also make sure that Germans know that they don't really own their cars. Like, isn't this beautiful? So, apparently this is happening with Toyota. They have this app, which, if it's snowy outside, if the weather looks like that, you would basically turn on your car in order to preheat it, you know, so that when you go inside, you don't have to scrape all of the ice and the snow from the window, because like they have systems that do it themselves. And it's also not freezing cold. Like, you start your car from the house, you grab your keys, by the time you go downstairs, the car is warm. Apparently Toyota said, you know what, how about you go fuck yourself, and you don't get to do that because we're protecting the environment. Oh my fucking God. Right.
Yeah, sorry about that. You know, he says the F-bomb sometimes.
Imagine you're a fat German politician, right? Like, your entire life is to realize that you're now an aristocrat. Like, people can't make fun of you because you can sue their ass. I'm not kidding. That is actually possible in Germany. You can become fat. Like, you can be as fat as you want. You can transition. No one can say anything. You're the politician. Do you think you have to put up with this shit? Like, do you honestly think that you have to put up with a car that when you put your ass in it, it's cold? Of course not. You have a chauffeur. You have a driver that the German peasant has to pay for. And he arrives with a warm car. Isn't that progressive? Like, isn't this the real struggle? You know, when you had like the social justice.
Yeah, see, the stuff that he's talking about, cars, not just in Germany or Europe, but cars in America, the new cars are getting more and more bogged down with subscriptions and right to repair issues where you're not allowed to repair your own car, and also no one else except the dealership is allowed to repair your own car, and apps that turn them off or turn various features off, and all this kind of garbage. And of course, sometimes, like in this case in Germany, they're using environmentalism as the reason why they should be able to turn your car's heater off in the winter, and they're like, oh, we're going to save energy, it's more environmental. But But you know, there's a lot of these environmental things, and I'm very pro-environment. I believe that, you know, we need to save the environment in lots of different ways. And one of the things that's happened is the people in power have decided that when saving the environment is burdensome, they're going to make sure that the burden falls on the poor people. And this has been a thing for a real long time, like the way that they basically ignored plastic pollution for decades, and they told us that recycling plastic would just solve the problem. And you know, and then it turned out that, you know, recycling plastic almost doesn't work at all. It was like so many decades of work that, you know, conscientious people put into, oh, let's, you know, I think Jim Gaffigan even had a routine on it. Let's wash the garbage and then sort it into containers. And then it came, you know, and then with cars, you know, they have this stuff like, there was a program back in, I think 2009, under Obama, called Cash for Clunkers. And the idea was that you turned in your fuel inefficient older car, and they completely destroyed it. They like put abrasives inside it so that it was completely junked and couldn't be like snuck off somewhere else and sold for parts or sold whole or anything like that. They had to prove that it had been completely scrapped. So you got a bunch of money for your old beater car, your old clunker car. And one of the things that did is it's supposed to make people buy a bunch of fuel efficient cars. Well, what actually happened is that it made life permanently much more difficult for poor people in America, because it removed a whole bunch of those really old cars off the market, that, you know, the poor people, you know, and I've been a poor person for quite a large portion of my life. We can't buy the new cars or even the, you know, the better used cars. We've always had clunkers. You know, that's the poor person in America thing. You have a clunker and you drive it until continuously repairing it ends up being more expensive than just buying another clunker. And that was one of the things that allowed people to get along on low wages. But when things like that are removed, and you know, and the people in power, they didn't have like a plan beyond that. They're like, we'll remove all these old fuel inefficient cars, and then we'll make the new cars more and more expensive and less reliable, and that shifts all the burden onto poor people. So there's a lot of environmentalism where the people that are really powerful could very well shoulder the burden themselves, but they shift it on to poor people in like dozens of different ways. And if they can manage to do it in a dystopian way like this, where that also makes them have lots more power over poor people, then they'll go ahead and do it. So anyways, Romanian TV has still got a lot of his video actually left, so I'm going to listen to him some more.
Generation that wanted to fight for a better world. What are they actually fighting for this? So that they and their families can live like actual peasants in a new feudal society? My God.
Yeah, the technofeudalism, that's what it's going towards.
And I'm not going to say they don't. Like, if you actually go and you ask Germans, like, is protecting Mother Gaia important? All of them will say yes. All of them will say, like, yes, we want our factories to be in China, we want China to burn the coal, and we want to buy stuff from China while we turn off our air conditioning, and we basically turn off our car abilities to do basic shit that every car can do. Look, apparently, like, this is from Toyota, but what's interesting is that Toyota actually says that we're doing this because of the German lawmaker. So I find this interesting, right? Because they're basically saying for vehicles with conventional engines, this only works when the combustion engine is running. Legislators consider this unnecessary engine idling and avoidable emissions, which is prohibited. Many users are unaware of this. There is no uniform legal situation regarding this in Europe, which we have addressed with a corresponding notice in the app. To protect vehicle users from fines, we have deactivated the function of this vehicle. So basically, like, look, if I want to basically not comply, like I want to become ungovernable.
Yeah. So this is basically saying that the app is becoming like a government snitch on every last tiny aspect of your behavior. And that, I think, is the type of dystopian future that we don't want to move towards. Like, you know, environmentalism is good, but if the people who are doing the Save the Environment stuff are creating this bizarre dystopian techno-feudalism in order to enforce it, then it's like, hey, can't we do this a different way? Why are the rich so concerned with shouldering all the burden of saving the environment onto the poor, and also grabbing a whole bunch of power in the process? And, you know, they're using it as an excuse to grab power. So anyways, I don't want to watch his entire video. I really believe in encouraging people to go see the video themselves when you can. So Romanian TV, I've only watched about half 4 minutes of his nearly 9-minute video. So I'd like you to go and see it for yourself. It is a good video. So this is the end of my reaction, and go to his video to see the rest.